you know, I had to get out of the castle for a little bit, or at least into a different realm over here. And you know what? I was just checking out this old issue of the Monster Times, which I can't even believe I'm holding in my hand. As you can see, they're saying Godzilla for president. I don't know. That might be a really good idea. But you know, what's particularly interesting, ghoulies, is this. I had this paper when I was a very young ghoulie, and I was very surprised to see Godzilla Returns in, you guessed it, ghoulies, Godzilla vs. Gigan, which I waited a long time. This is from 1974, and I don't think that, I don't think I actually saw this movie until I was like 400 years old. For real. I waited a long time, but guess what, ghoulies? It finally came out, and I believe this is like the only time that it's ever been shown on Access Television. That much I can verify for sure. But it's a mighty cool feature, and basically this is the movie that followed Godzilla versus the Smog Monster. Some of you ghoulies right remember that one. That one came out right around the same time when they were showing like Destroy All Monsters, which you might have seen on Dr. Destruction's Crimson Theater. In any case, they used to show those at the Roosevelt Theater. The kids would be lined up around the block. This one, unfortunately, never did actually play there, though, and we were really sad. I kept waiting, and never came. You can imagine my discontent. I know, you can relate. It's a terrible thing over here. Anyway, ghoulies, you get to see it. For some of my younger ghoulies that are just starting to tune in and don't know what's going on, maybe mom and dad filled you in, but you know, these kind of monster horror host shows have been going on since the 50s, and we already been there and done that and said everything we could until we were blue in the face. And we even had Dick Neitlinger, and hopefully we'll get back to a clip of him. I don't know, he ran off somewhere, ghoulies. You know, we always have all kinds of problems on Crimson Theaters, and we can't even find our old features anymore because that rotten professor ran off with everything. But we're working on it for some vintage Crimson Theater throwbacks. In any case, ghoulies, Godzilla vs. Gigan. It's a pretty cool movie. Ghidorah's in it, and Ghidorah's. And what's really interesting about this one, I don't know about this cut because Vampiro hasn't actually showed me this version of the movie, which was also called Godzilla on Monster Island at some point. Bad news. But in any case, I don't know, but in the version I saw, you actually hear Godzilla talk plain English to that other monster, Anguirus. Now, I don't know if you're going to catch that in this one, but oh my God, ghoulies, that I don't know. That was a one-time deal. Now, I've seen Godzilla. He actually learned how to fly in Godzilla versus the Smog Monster, which was quite a surprise to us because we didn't know if he was going to win that battle. It was tough, you know. The Smog Monster, Japanese, way ahead of their time as far as pollution protest films. But then again, if you ghoulies believe it or not, the original Godzilla movie was actually a nuclear protest film. And if you watch that movie, you might get a little bit terrified because some of the scenes there of the victims of Godzilla looks a lot like Hiroshima, a little bit of real-life deal. So there's a little bit of a serious side to Godzilla. Anyway, he became a hero in Japan, modern Japanese mythology. Anyway, ghoulies, we'll be back in a little bit to tell you about the Dorian Gray Art Show, the big trolley ride at the trolley, March 16th. You know where the trolley is. Well, we're going to have a great time. We're going to ride on the trolley. Then we're going to visit the museum. And then we're just going to explore downtown Kenosha because, you know what, there's a lot of cool stuff happening down there. And I don't want to hear all the negative publicity. You know, they didn't think Godzilla was going to win the election either. You know, and I guess it took something bigger than Texas to get him there. Anyway, ghoulies, you get to Godzilla versus Gigan on Dr. Destruction's Crimson Theater, where I'll tell you what, man, Godzilla's got it. He's got it down. I think I'm going to use a little bit of his ideas for my mayoral campaign. All right, ghoulies. All right, ghoulies, I hope you're enjoying this feature, but give me a break. The monster of homework? I don't think so. Now, you know, these guys are a little bit strange. I don't know about some of these hippie characters they got in this Gigan movie. This isn't the kind of hippies you knew in the old days. I mean, we had Sonny and Cher, and they got this crazy wide load with some weird beard, you know.
Wide load?
Oh my God, did you? Obviously she missed that part of the preview, you know. She comes a little bit late when we screen the features. I don't blame you, you know. She's the kind of girl, she don't want to mess around with the dialogue. She wants to get right into that hard-hitting Godzilla action. Anyway, Ghoulies, some of you actually...
I don't know about that.
What don't you know about that, my dear?
Figure it out.
I gotta figure it out that she don't burn the sofa down. Anyway, we got some letters here. Some of you are actually writing to that address where, you know, you actually have to take pen to paper. The heck with the computer world, you know, you guys all forgot how to write. And since most of our ghoulies are young, I think they should still practice actually writing letters, you know. So, you know, the pen, a piece of paper. You know, if the electricity goes out and you want to write a fine novel, what are you going to do? You're going to have to get a pen and a piece of paper like the old days. But anyway, we got this one right here anyway, you know, I don't know. Dear Doctor, who is this Vampiro character? Did he replace that Spring dude or what? Also, are you ever going to rerun any of your original shows? Horror Host, Raleigh episode, and let's not forget the time you got that wicker chair stuck in your hair. Just wondering, Crystal. Well, I don't know, Ghoulie. You ought to know where that Professor Spring character is better than I do, but it doesn't look like we're going to get any of those old episodes. Unless, of course, our ghoulies out there have them. You can contact Dr. Destruction at that address below, because we're looking for archives of our own episodes over here, because, you know, we didn't have it going on too well, and we didn't archive some of those. So we're going to do our best to try to get some of that footage back. I mean, of course, you remember Toulouse-Lautrec was here. I mean, not Toulouse-Lautrec, Toulouse-No-Net, but you should check out Toulouse-Lautrec. You know, since this is March's actual Ghoulie Art Month, you got to check it out. Anyway, we're looking for that kind of stuff. And if you other ghoulies have any of that paraphernalia from the Roosevelt Theater back when Bojangles the Clown would give you a free bike if you came to the monster movie and had the winning ticket. I mean, I've never known a better time in a long time. Well, that's not true. Anyway, it was mighty fine. If you guys got any memorabilia there of that stuff, I want a copy. All right, next letter here. Hey, Doc, do you know where I can find a copy of the Japanese movie Yangari, Monster from the Deep? I have not seen it since they played it on WFLD back in the 70s. On Saturdays and Sunday afternoons. Big fan, Brian. Well, I'll tell you what, Ghoulie, I got a big surprise for you. Yangari is the Korean Godzilla. That movie was made in Korea. It's not Japanese at all. And that, you know, that's a good, I wonder whatever happened to Yangari, Monster from the Deep. One movie, and, you know, but he was the first giant monster of his type to actually dance in his movie, you know. He did a pretty good swing there. He was jamming to some rock and roll music, and then, well, of course, they had to do away with him after that because he was a menace, you know. It wasn't so much that, you know, he finally figured out not to step out on buildings, but they just couldn't clean up after this beast, you know. There's droppings in the middle of freeways everywhere. There's nothing they could do. I know. It's, you know, the truth hurts. All right, this one is from Scary Perry Clays, founder of the Gray Sites First Club, which a doctor's still a member the last time I remember, which, you know, the short-term memory does slip when you're 410. Anyway, dear Dr. Destruction, love the show. Keep up the ghoul work. It's been a while since I last saw you on the Crimson Theater dinner party when Gamera crashed the party and burned down the castle. Wow, talk about the hot plate special. You know, if Lampini could have predicted that big turtle showing up at the party, you know, we could have had some mighty fine turtle soup. I heard you like turtle soup a lot. Well, we would have had enough for the next 520 years. Okay, then it goes on to say, other than that Glockenstinkle losing his head and the castle burning down, it was a grave party. Thanks for inviting me. Now I want to return the favor. You are officially invited to the Gravesite's 3rd annual Hearse Meet 2003. This August to join us when we will celebrate the oldest vehicle in the world, the hearse. That's right, ghoulies. Hearses date back hundreds of years before the automobile, back when they had horse-drawn hearse carriages. It makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? I mean, who'd want to carry that thing that far? Your viewers are welcome to attend this hearse rally too, of course. It will be held Saturday, August 16, 2003 at Kelly's Pub in Threaver, Wisconsin from 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. and will feature live music all day and all night. Catered food and beverages, trophies, and naturally a parking lot full of hearses and caskets. Well, this ghoulie was there last time, and there was just hearses everywhere. And the bottom line about the fun at the hearse meet is just was a really good crowd of people, actually. A lot of families, a lot of couples, a lot of loving going on at the hearse meet over there. You'd be surprised. You know, some people might think this is too far on the fringes and these people are disturbed, but they're good, loving people, and I understand that the founder, he goes to church all the time. So, you know, I think they probably give him a little extra work on the side when they can't get one of those expensive hearses. Anyway, he's got a pretty fine white one these days. Anyway, everybody had a groovy, ghouling time when you came to our hearse meet last year and shot an episode of your show from my club's party. Please let me know if you'd like to attend this event. I will even try to come up with a hearse movie for that day's show. Your viewers may learn more about this by visiting our website at www.gravesites.org. Bugs and Hisses, Scary Terry Clays, founder and president of the Grave Sites Hearse Club. Well, Perry, you know we love to attend that one. If you got a mighty fine hearse movie, we'll be more than happy to show that. I'll tell you what. And, you know, I know we're getting a little long-winded here because we got a lot of letters. We got a very serious letter coming up. I guess we'll save that for the next segment because we got to recharge our batteries a little bit here. We never know. Anyway, ghoulies, one more letter. Hey, Doc, love the show, especially those Godzilla movies. How about equal time for Gamera? Do you know why Godzilla and Gamera were never in a movie together? Also, how exactly are those special effects done? Are they miniature action figures or what? Will you be doing any more with the medieval story? Yours truly, Glenn. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll probably get back to the medieval story. You know, the producers I'm under very, very heavy pressure to continue the, what would they call it, the Lord of the Night medieval series, you know. But, you know, it was a burden for a while there. But, yeah, we're trying to get more of the Gamera films. But, you see, Gamera films and Godzilla films are made by two completely different companies in Japan. Gamera was actually, you know, Godzilla's competition as far as movie going without them being in the same movie. I've heard rumor that they're going to make one now, which would be pretty tough. It'd be a pretty tough movie. They'd probably have to make it a draw with them two, or team them up together, but they're from two different companies. I think Gamera was probably the knockoff for you know, Godzilla. He was the, you know, they were trying to make a knockoff. You catch my meaning. In any case, now, are you one of those ghoulies that wants to look at every little string pulling a tail in a movie and you're all worried about it? I'd rather watch it and believe it's all real. But if you, in answer to your question, no, they're not miniature models. They're actually guys in rubber suits, and the heads and tails and other appendages, wings, let's say, they're actually done more like puppetry. It's pretty clever. And one of the strongest points, of course, is the miniature cities that the Japanese producers managed to build, you know, for the monsters to knock over. It adds a sense of realism. And, of course, Toho Studios, who did the Godzilla movies, they created their entire own genre of the horror film, and they're still doing a good job today of remaking and rebuilding their legend. The recent Godzilla movies have been great. You ought to check out the special effects. Godzilla vs. Destroyer is one to check out for sure. Anyway, ghoulies, you got to get back to tonight's feature, Godzilla versus Gigan. And I'll tell you what, you know, Longhorn Leghorn comes to mind here. You get to it. All right, ghoulies, I hope you're enjoying tonight's feature, Godzilla versus Gigan. And I just want to take a minute to remind you that we're doing the next big trolley ride episode, which we're inviting all our loyal ghoulies to join us on the trolley at the trolley barn or anywhere else you see the trolley rolling. 12 p.m. March 16th, we'll be there We're going to hang out, we're going to check out the museum, and we want all the little ghoulies to do a monster picture and bring it on the trolley so we can include it in the Dorian Gray show we're going to do. And then we're going to check out the art show going on over at the museum. Also, Dr. Destruction is having his Dorian Gray art show at McCullough's on the 12th of April. That ought to be a lot of fun. And I don't know, ghoulies, you've written us so many letters that I got to include a few because I don't want to make any mad. And, you know, if you haven't heard your letter read this week, you'll probably hear it next week because we just got a pile of them. And this one here, you know, I know you don't talk much, so I'll have to read it to you. It says, Dear Dearest, is Dearest really your name? We know not to believe anything the doctor says. Hey, do you even like monster movies? Are you just forced to put up with them so you can use the doctor's torture devices? Looking for any victims soon? Dan Nicolazzi. All right, here we go. We got the next one here. Dear Dr. Destruction, I just wanted to say that I heard you are secretly called Dr. Feelgood. Rumors say that your catacombs are lovely and your castle is fantastic. Can you lose your sidekick for a while? Maybe lock her away somewhere so I can visit. Can I make an appointment with the doctor? Your fan, Mary. Well, I'll tell you what, no. And no. And no. Now, you guys are getting carried away out there again, all right? Now, you girls come walking around the castle late at night, caterwauling like a bunch of cats in heat over here, and I'm telling you, the doctor's got more important things to do. We're working on a very special experiment, and we just don't have time for that sort of thing. Now, if you want to fulfill your fantasies about Dr. Destruction, we're on Friday and Saturday at midnight and Tuesday at 3 in the afternoon. And that's as far as that's going to go, all right? I heard there's only one person watching on Tuesday afternoon, though. Her name's Shirley. I don't know. I heard she's the only one that we've got mail for, but so far, they've been far too critical to put on the show. I don't know. Anyway, we got, let's see. Here we got another one. Dear Dr. Destruction, my name is Chow Mai Wang, and I am the guy in the Godzilla suit you see in the movies. I wish you American weirdos would quit watching this crap. I am very underpaid and have huge boils between my legs. Tell Ralph to spend another $10 on some Mexican mummy movies. No thanks. Goodbye. Ciao, my way. Well, I don't want to hear about your blisters, buddy. I don't know. I think, you know, you could get some good wrinkle cream or something there. You got something's got to make those go away, all right? But you know what? A little fact, Ghoulie. The original Godzilla movie, the tire suit, was made out of such heavy leather. Did I say tire suit? The Godzilla suit was made out of such heavy rubber that it weighed like a tire rubber, I guess. And the guy was in quite a lot of pain. But you know what? A good piece of art takes a little bit of blood, sweat, and tears, you know? All right, we got one more here. Dear Dr. D, where's Graves? Is he lost in the catacombs? I think you are beautiful. Well, you know, someone's wise in their generation, you know? It must be that pale color. I love your horse riding ability and your armor. Do you sign autographs? Can I have yours? I'll see you on the trolley. Your fan, Carrie. Well, that's the place to see the doc if you want some autographs signed. You know, that sort of thing's all cool and everything else. But, you know, we're dedicated to bringing you the best in G-rated horror movies and none of this hanky-panky on the side, you know. The doc's simply not available. You know, it's far too degrading for a big star like me. Anyway, ghoulies, let's get back to the action there. And I've never seen such a big rooster with a buzzsaw on his chest like this guy. It's unbelievable. You know, well, you know, who would believe a three-headed monster either, for that matter? But it's darn good monster movie fun. You can't argue with that. There's no doubt about it. And you know what? I'll tell you what, I know a little ghoulie. I'm not mentioning no names. But he actually had to wear the Foghorn Leghorn costume down in Great America, which is very similar to a Godzilla suit or the Gigan suit. And I tell you what, as big and heavy as that thing was, I'd take one little 4-year-old tyke with about that much pressure on the tail of the Foghorn costume, and the poor ghoulie, he just fall right on his back. And you know what? I have heard that from a very reliable source. So, you know, you get back to Godzilla versus Gigan on Dr. Destruction's Crimson Theater, where you've come to expect the best. Alright, ghoulies, now you gotta admit, as cheesy as this movie was, some of those fire effects in the battle were quite scary and impressive, you know? And it's just good monster movie fun. And now if you happen to notice, this is the same Godzilla suit, and there's been many. This is the same Godzilla suit that you would have seen in Godzilla vs. the Smog Monster and Destroy All Monsters, those 3 movies. After this one, Godzilla vs. Gigan, Godzilla went on to do Godzilla vs. Megalon, which is probably the all-time worst Godzilla movie ever made. He's upstaged by an Ultraman lookalike called Jet Jaguar. It's terrible. You'll probably see it on Crimson Theater, so we can continue. But then they picked up the pace when they did the Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla series, and then they reinvented the series again, starting with Godzilla 1985. They actually got Raymond Burr to come back on that one. And then, of course, following that movie was Godzilla vs. Biollante, which we might be able to show. I don't know. We're going to work on it, because they say we're going to get in trouble if we show the wrong movies, you know. But we're going to show the picture of Dorian Gray, too. Just watch and see. Anyway, ghoulies, that's all we've got time for, and we hope you check out our, check out our address down there, write us a letter, whatever. We got another website on the way, but, you know, it's time to let the electric generation slide on a little bit. Write some letters, you know, get back to the old ways, you know. We didn't have all that stuff 420 years ago. You know, we had to actually write the letter. Can you imagine the inconvenience? Anyway, ghoulies, you have a terrifying week, and we'll see you next time on Dr. Destruction's Crimson Theater, where, you know, I'm getting kind of comfy here.
Destiny's magic word combined with the power of her ancient amulet gives her the ability to transform into any creature. The exact date is unimportant. People in these parts have no need of calendars to tell them the important times, when to go to church, when to plant, when to harvest, when to hunt.
Tough and stringy as wolf may be, at least it's meat.
Conjure. Oh. Oh.
Awake at last. Easy there, girl. Mustn't reopen your wounds. Just let the poultice do its work. You're in my home now. My name is Maria. Oh, I changed your clothes. I had to wash the blood out of your dress. It's drying now. Oh, God bless you, dear.
Oh, thank you.
You're very lucky. The poachers in these parts will shoot anything that'll move. Never mind what it is. Lucky for you, you stumbled upon me, and not one of those doctors in town. They'd give you the leeches, silly men. What you need is to keep your blood inside you.
I must tell the magistrate about this.
Maria de Rossi! By order of the magistrate, we've come to seize you and your property on the charge of witchcraft.